Hi, good morning. It is Saturday and I'm going to bring you a show today. Yes, ooh, low cut. Yeah, because it's Saturday and anything goes. So I've got some crime, trial stuff went on yesterday, Friday. I got some stuff to talk about. So I'll see you on the other side. Hi everybody, Crafting Journey here, that Journey chick on Instagram. And yeah, you are not wrong. It is Saturday and I am doing a Saturday edition of Crafting and Crime Daily. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button. He has been helping me knit. I think he's getting the hang of it. Yeah, so hit the like button. Also, down on that like button row, if you look over after you hit the like button, there is a thanks button. This is something new to YouTube where people that do regular daily shows and not a lot of lives, you can make a super chat donation, a one-time donation that goes to support the content of the channel. Just thought I'd mention that. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the content, but most importantly, the notification bell, because you want to hit all and make sure you don't miss a single thing, because I'm going to be doing a lot of filming. I got some other content I want to bring you because yesterday was the day. All right. Before I get into yesterday, and we will get to the crime, guys, I promise you, but this is also my vlog, so I got to tell you about my life. I was on Mickey Sunshine's show last night. We're starting the Great Escape Diamond Painting Landscape Adventure on Monday. Countdown, 2 days. Well, that's 4. 2 days. I need some coffee. Am I talking fast? So I was on her show last night and I thought, I need to be kitting up my painting. I haven't even kitted up. And if you're not familiar with diamond painting, that's where you take all of the diamonds that come in this package and you separate them and you put them into containers so that they're easily accessible while you're diamond painting, because they come in big, long strips. This is just a part of the strip. I'm talking a big, long strip. And this looks like the most predominant color in the painting that I'm going to be doing. It's a dark, dark brown. Yeah. So container-wise, I had bought these containers a couple of months back. I'm thinking they're like a Tic Tac jar container. The containers you get Tic Tacs in. They're like that, except they're square. So they hold a little bit more. So I had not tried these out. So I thought, let me give it a try. So right away I figured out you've got to put the sticker on top of the container. So we're going to see whether I like these or not. But because there's only 30 in here and I only bought one, I had to figure out what to do with the rest of the diamonds. So Diamond Art Club packages their diamonds by weight. So what I did was I took all of the smaller packages of diamonds. Sometimes you get very, very few diamonds in a package, for example, and I put them in these little round containers. This is all the red that you got, like it's just this little bitty amount of red. So I put these in these containers. So I've got all these smaller amounts of containers. Then I took up the next step. So that took 10. Then I thought, well, I still need something to do with the next 10. So I took the next weight up and I put them into these containers here. So I have 10 of those and then 30 of these. But these do not hold, this only holds one of these packages. So I have this extra package. So I'll just store the extra drills somewhere else. That was a very long explanation of my kitting up of this painting. Yeah, most of the time I just use a couple of Harbor Freight containers and call it a day. But I wanted to try these new containers. So I am doing a painting called Wool Gathering. This is just the little thumbnail of the painting. I'm going to show you the entire painting at the end of this video. Don't let me forget. Stay tuned to the end and I'll get the painting out and I'll show you. It's beautiful. Whoop! So this is also the sticker sheet. There's little cutout stickers that you just peel off and you put on the top of your container. And then this is also a sticker. You could put this on the top of the box. But I will tell you, once you put it there, it is staying there. It ain't coming off. Okay. More coffee. All right. Thanks for sticking around if you want to hear what happened yesterday. My boss had said earlier in the week, hey, are you available Friday? You know, all smiles and, you know, hey, you're available Friday, you know, let's get together and, you know, just have a little progress update. I'm thinking, you know, okay, that's a good idea. Get together with your boss, let her know where you're at with your work and, you know, and if she's happy with what I've been doing since, you know, all the write-ups. So I'm thinking, okay, you know, this is a good thing. So yesterday I get ready and about 10 minutes before the meeting, something tells me I should probably take an anxiety pill. And I have like a fast acting one. So I took it. And so I go to the meeting and there's someone else in her office. So I wait outside. The door's closed. At the appropriate time, she opens the door and invites me in to meet with HR. Yes. And I'm thinking, so I looked at her. I said, seriously, I thought we were going to discuss work. So, honest to God. So, they explained to me, and I kept my cool this entire time. I just want you to know. No crying. I just kept my cool. Your job, we are eliminating your position. So you no longer have a job. Okay, but we have a severance package for you. So the HR spends the next 20 minutes going over the severance package and this, I'm going to say, I didn't count, but I'm going to say at least 10, 12-page document that they want me to sign within the next 21 days. And she's like, read through it carefully. If you want to consult an attorney, that's, you know, you have the right to do that. And I'm thinking, uh-oh. I better read this document. So the only document I signed yesterday was that I had the meeting. Okay, that's fine. I signed that. So, of course, when I leave the meeting, I was very upset. I closed my door and shed a few tears. And, you know, I was just in shock. I sat there the rest of the day just like, what? So I took a little walk. And I called Mickey, and Mickey and I had a chat. And I got on the phone after I hung up with Mickey, and I called a lawyer. And on my way home from work, the lawyer called me back. And we had a nice long chat. And he is very interested in everything that I had to say. He says, this sounds like straight up retaliation. They didn't eliminate anyone else's position. Nope. Just mine. And I said to my boss at the end of the meeting, is there someone you would like me to pass along this other work to? And she's like, I haven't figured that out yet. So here's the deal. I have to work till the end of August. Okay. And then I have a little bit of severance thereafter. Just a little bit. I'm not going to go through the details of the whole thing, but so a little bit of time to find a job. Meanwhile, I'm going to vlog this whole experience, me looking for work, me, you know, what am I doing in the meantime? And I hope you're going to enjoy it because it's going to be a little bit more interactive, I think, than just the crime. I'll continue to do my crime show every day, but you're going to get a little bit more intake into my life and this experience that I'm going through. Because, you know, let's face it, I'm 61 years old. Yes, I have great credentials. Do I want to learn a new profession? Not really. You know, I don't know. And things in healthcare have progressed so fast that you know, the industry is looking for young people with master's degrees. I don't have a master's degree. I have a law degree, which should account for something, but I don't know. Anyway, let's not go there because I'm going to get upset because, yeah, we're going to move on. Let's talk about crafting and crime. This is one of my favorite subjects. You guys know that. So yesterday was the sentencing of Catherine Magbanoa. Now, let me refresh your memory as to who Catherine Magbanoa is. Some of you may not remember. I've covered the trial of her baby daddy. I have covered her trial, and there are more people to come in this entire enterprise, if you want to call it. So here's what happened. Dan Markel, he was an FSU law professor. One of the things that he liked to focus on was criminal penalties. Should they be considered rehabilitative or should they be restitution? And he was on the side of restitution. Keep that in mind. So he was married to Wendy Adelson, who, after he married her, this was a big, beautiful Jewish wedding ceremony. She did not change her name. She kept her Adelson name. They fell in love. They got married. They had 2 beautiful boys. They moved to Tallahassee. He got a job as a law professor. She got a job at FSU. In a different capacity. She was also a lawyer, but she was in a different capacity. She wasn't a professor. She wrote a book that mirrored pretty much her life, which her husband refused to read. He didn't like fiction. He goes on a business trip, comes home one day, and the house is empty except for the marital bed, which he goes into the bedroom and he finds divorce papers on top of the bed. She's taken the children and everything in the house, and she is gone. He doesn't know where she is. She's already found another place to live, and yeah. So it turns out she hated Tallahassee. She was dating this other gentleman. Years down the line, she's dating this other gentleman who she tries to implicate for the crime that's involved here. So I haven't told you about the crime yet. So they start this very bitter divorce battle, 2 lawyers going at each other, filing motions, and which will happen when you put 2 lawyers up against each other. So Wendy, she wants to take her children and move to South Florida where her family is. Her brother, Charlie, her father and mother, who are all involved in this dental practice. His father's a dentist. Charlie is a periodontist. And mom kind of works at the business. And they all want Wendy to be down there with them, with the boys. And the judge is saying, absolutely not. The boys will stay in Tallahassee. You guys have joint custody. You cannot remove those boys from Tallahassee. So she is not happy. And her brother buys her a television and tells her, here's a television. It was cheaper than hiring a hitman. So what happens? Hitmen are hired to kill Dan Markel. Meanwhile, and we're talking like a couple of years into the divorce. The divorce is final. Now they're arguing over breaches of the marital settlement agreement and, removing the kids and that whole thing. And Charlie is dating a woman named Catherine Magbanoa, who has children from a man named Sigfredo Garcia, who is best friends with a man who is head of a criminal organization called the Latin Kings. Never heard of them, but yeah. So Catherine was on trial for hiring her baby daddy, Sigfredo Garcia, and his friend, Luis Rivera, head of the Latin Kings, to go up and murder Dan Markel. They did. They went up. They shot him in his driveway through the window of his car. They pulled in behind him, get out, shoot him right in the head. He does not survive. I can't go into the entire investigation. It would take me a very long time. You can watch the videos. They're all labeled. And you can see it's FSU law professor. So they figure out that it's these two gentlemen and that Catherine Magbanoa is likely the person that hired him, and she's dating Charlie Adelson, Wendy's brother. So last year, they had a trial. Luis Rivera decided to testify against Catherine Magbanoa and Sigfredo Garcia in exchange for not receiving the death penalty. He got 30 years. So he comes in at their trial and testifies against them. At the end of the trial, Sigfredo Garcia is found guilty, and the jury was hung as to Catherine Magbanoa. They could not make a decision, so there was a mistrial declared on Catherine Magbanoa. So later on, Sigfredo Garcia gets sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The death penalty was not on the table here. Apparently, the prosecution did not ask for it. And this is in Florida. So now we have to have a retrial of Catherine Magbanoa, which occurred about 2 months ago, and I covered that as well. So they try her again, and this time she is convicted. Because this time they have a tape that they have enhanced by an expert where they can hear conversation between Charlie Adelson and her in this restaurant, Dolce Vita, talking about the conspiracy. So, and just a couple of weeks before her retrial starts, Charlie Adelson is arrested. So Charlie Adelson is now in jail, and he will be the next to be tried for the murder of Dan Markel and this conspiracy. So the trial goes forward. Catherine Magbanoa is convicted of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and a third count. So yesterday was her sentencing. That was a long story to get to here. Yesterday was her sentencing, and she wanted to speak to the court, but her lawyer said she was afraid that she would not be able to get through it without breaking down. So her lawyer spoke on her behalf. Now, she did not express any remorse for what happened, for her part in what happened, but she expressed condolences to the family of Dan Markel. One of the things her lawyer pointed out was that Wendy Adelson, while she was on the stand, flat out lied, saying that she was going to allow the grandparents, Dan Markel's parents, to have a relationship with the children. And as soon as she got off the stand, she cut off all ties with the Markel family, and they have not seen those children. Then she goes forward to say that, it's been 6 years since Catherine has seen her children. She wanted to point out to the court that, you have not seen any of Catherine's family in any of these proceedings, and it isn't because they don't love her and support her, but it's because the media is present, and she fears for the safety of her children, because as you recall, the Latin Kings are involved in this situation, and she fears for those kids. Because of all this, because she hired the head of the Latin Kings, he's now in jail. The judge, he really didn't have much choice. But he threw the book at her. Like, he gave her the max. The minimum wasn't much different than the max, though, I will tell you. So, mandatory life in prison without the possibility of probation or parole for the murder of Dan Markel. For the conspiracy and the other count, the choices were concurrent or consecutive. So 30 years for each of those counts, and he gave it to her consecutive. So she has a life sentence plus 60 years. So she will never see the light of day unless her appeals happen to work. But at the end of her attorney's speech, she said, Catherine hopes that everyone involved in the murder of Dan Markel is brought to justice. And I think she's talking about Wendy Adelson. We know Charlie's in jail, so I'm sure she's talking about Charlie, but we need to get Wendy on board too, because I'm positive Wendy was involved, and probably her parents as well. But they have charged Charlie, and he will be tried for the murder of Dan Markel. That was a long story. So let's talk about the Alex Jones defamation trial. It just gets crazier and crazier. So the trial itself was very boring because plaintiff had put on the producer and showed clips of various videos. So what the defense did was show all of the videos. Like, we had to sit through video after video, and they were like, you just get tired of hearing this guy talk because he's like, oh, what? I couldn't watch him. I really couldn't, on a regular basis. No, because no. And what he's trying to demonstrate by showing the full length of each and every of these videos is that there was a very small percentage of time during these videos that he talked about Sandy Hook. Because what they're trying to do is prove that the revenue from the sale of his supplements off of each of these videos should be in support of, the amount of money that the family should receive. But the defense is trying to show that, he didn't just talk about Sandy Hook, he talked about a lot of other stuff. And he did. He rambled on and on about this, that, and the other thing. But here's the interesting thing. Yesterday, in federal court, Alex Jones' parent company, which is his co-defendant, filed for bankruptcy. The parent company for InfoWars, which is freedom of speech something or other, filed for bankruptcy. Now, 3 months ago, the attorneys for Alex Jones had put his website and some other parts of his company into bankruptcy. That did not fly. He was not allowed. It didn't go over well. So now he's trying to put the parent company into bankruptcy, and he has asked the court to allow him to access the funds to continue to pay his employees and run his radio show while the bankruptcy proceedings go on. Now, when you file for bankruptcy, it usually puts a pause on all litigation. But they have made an agreement that this case can go forward, this trial, and go ahead and get your verdict, because he's going to get rid of all the assets. That's just, or claiming there is no assets. God knows what he's done with the assets behind the scenes. Put them in someone else's name. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Very shifty. And it's reported that he has spent $12 million defending these cases and, bankruptcy and defending the cases. Yeah. $12 million on attorney's fees and costs. Wow. Does he really believe this nonsense? Oh, well. Okay. So I need to continue getting this up. I'm also going to get out my watercolors today, because watercolors make me, it just relaxes me, I'm going to get out the watercolors and do some watercoloring tonight. Last night I was doing some knitting with my new needles. So here's as far as I've gotten. Now this is going to be like a little scarf. Here's the thing. People are saying, "Oh, you're doing so well," but you can really tell that I'm not good at my tension yet. The tension is not even here. You can see some spaces, whatever, where the tension is different than other places. So, which bothers me, won't bother anybody else, but not enough to start over. This is just practice. you know. So hopefully by the end of this scarf, I will have figured out my rhythm and my tension, and yeah. So thank you, Narrate, for the needles. Okay, I promised you I would show you the canvas for the Great Escape Landscape Diamond Painting Adventure. Here it is. I just thought this was so super cute. This is offered by Diamond Art Club. It is called Wool Gathering. Now, I don't buy Diamond Art Clubs anymore, but when I did, oh my gosh, here it is. So this is where I am escaping to during the event. I'm going to a farm, and I'm saying that it's Scotland. I'm going to a farm in Scotland. I'm going to tend sheep. I'm going to braid my hair. I'm going to take pictures of those flowers and watercolor paint. Yeah. Isn't that gorgeous? Now the size on this is 71 by 56. So totally doable. Not as large as the one I was currently working on. That I've put it aside. I'll come back to it. I know I'm a serial starter, but yeah, I just think this one is super cute. Okay. So this starts on Monday. Super excited. Now, one of the questions people are asking is, do I have to wait for the live on Monday night to start my painting? No, you do not. Monday, when it's Monday, wherever you're at in the world, because we have people in many other countries, you can start on Monday. August 1st, you may start. Just make sure that before you start, you put a picture of your painting and your containers, your kitted up container, into the post on the Crafting Journey Facebook group. Now, there's still time to join. If you want to participate, all you have to do is join the Crafting Journey Facebook group, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to Mickey Sunshine Creates, fill out the Google form, and promise me your firstborn. Okay? I've got a bunch of kids running around here. All right, guys, that is the Saturday show for today. I hope you enjoyed the content. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow in the live, 11 Central Time. Bye.